Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on, for about the 37th time, an unknown age from Cardiff, Wales. They won't post it, folks. He's an enigma. His hockey journey has taken him to Wales, Manchester, England before they became the Chocolate Storm, sharpened the wheels for Team China, and most recently was a part of the World Championships with Team Austria in the under-18s, Unterochsens in Austria, folks. And that's because he's become a bit of a legend around the shed and Graz, Austria, where he has ran the show for the past 4 seasons and seems to have found a home with the 99ers. Folks, he knows how to hockey and he will do whatever it takes to win, even spray paint my tallywhacker for the boys. Welcome back to the shed, Dease.
Hello, Wally. How are you doing?
Good. I didn't know this was going to happen today. Isn't this fun when you wake up and you don't know what's going to happen in a day?
It's just one of those random messages. What you doing today? But I just want to quickly go on record and say that tin of spray paint lasted us a real long time because that's not a lot of a tallywhacker.
Well, it lasts a long time because we used a lot of different colors each game, right?
We we did. We used a lot of colors.
We've talked about this before, Deese, and you've come on so many times, but those pregame speeches of 2015-16, I don't think people really understand what went on in that Cardiff Devils locker room that season.
Some weird shit.
Some
Some,
weird shit.
some, some super weird shit was said,
We
done,
were
and
hockeying the
witnessed.
hell out of that season. We were playing hockey as hard as we could for guys that didn't play.
I I think if you try to do that in today's dressing room, uh, guys would be weirded out.
Yeah.
Like they've got HR departments and stuff now, so like
In hockey they
I
do.
don't. Yeah, they've got people
People
that
can go to
that
HR if, like I got naked for the boys. That wouldn't be good.
yeah. So
It's like the
whereas
real world
you
now.
know, yeah, they take a dim view on it, and I found out this year that they take a dim view of you walking around the team bus naked too.
Did you try that out?
So
You pulled the old
yeah,
Carl
mate.
Hudson, did you?
Yeah, I pulled the old Carl Hudson. Was walking down the bus with beers. Anyone beer? Anyone beer?
Well, Deece, nobody
And
wants to see you naked. If you had a body like mine, people would, they would enjoy it more.
yeah, like Bozo the Clown over there.
That's when I knew I had to turn the page in my life, though, Deece. It was one of the last weekends of the season, and I went to the Chocolate Storm shelter as a pregame speaker on the fan bus and had a
A lot
few.
of mud, a lot of mud.
That's when I knew that it was time to grow up, Deece. It was time that I had to grow up. Before a hockey game, I dressed like a Viking with an axe, a sword, and a shield, and your grubby mitts. We went outside and you grabbed mud and dirt and put your grubby mitts all over me and covered me in dirt to make me look more authentic.
I wasn't the one with the semi, Wally.
It was cold outside.
Like a chipolata gone hard.
What a world, though, eh? That same arena where I realized when your mitts got on my body that it was time to make changes in my life. And now they throw chocolate on the ice in that same arena every time they win, eh?
That's a great barn, though. To be fair, it's a
Isn't
it's
it?
a great barn with great. The fans are awesome in there. They're like so passionate in Manchester.
Well,
So
man, the way
it's
they've grabbed a hold of this chocolate thing, man, like we started a hockey tradition in Manchester now. It's cool.
we got to feed the players after game somehow. There, that's why.
Well, they got
Finner,
to earn it, right? It's
Finner and Ginner are saving on the budget, not feeding guys because they can
well,
just eat chocolate bars.
I mean, it's got to be hard to pay your players when your sponsors haven't even paid their whole bill, though, right?
Uh,
Sorry, Fenner. I got more coming. I had another raffle. Thanks everybody for buying tickets. I found it really neat that Sheffield Steelers fans bought tickets, a few Devils fans, and I know everybody's loyal to their teams, but that people supported me and bought tickets for my made-up hockey team in the shed. to help me pay a bill for having fun. I really appreciated that. There were Sheffield Steeler fans. I know Adam Brewer. He bought 40 tickets at £2 a pop, man. I would have just given you a jersey for
Wow.
that much money. And I said thank you to him. He's like, man, you make my commute to work so much better. And he put in 40 tickets to win again. And the last one he won, he gave away. He gave it to the Batemans at the first Sheffield game this year. And it's like, so you're buying
What a
40
dude.
tickets just to support me and you're giving the jerseys away if you win them? You're a shed guy. You know?
Hell of a guy.
Yeah. Way to go, Adam. Keep up the good work. And a Sheffield Steeler fan won the jersey this time. And he said to me, I'm a Steeler fan funding a Storm player with a laughing face. And I thought, man, this is getting awfully hockey out here in the shed, ain't it?
I don't think he can wear that in his barn though.
It's a Two Ales
Yeah.
and Hockey Tales jersey. He can.
Oh, sorry. I thought he no, because the raffle was to pay your bill in Manchester. That's what I thought it was, a Manchester shirt, but I
Yeah, no,
got
it
it
was
asked
just one of
backwards.
my jerseys. So then, yeah, I just, whatever we make, I
Oh,
just
that's
send that
okay.
money straight to Manchester. And then, it's like I don't really have to pay the bill because my team's paying it for me and it takes everybody to win?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, team. Cool team we've set up here in the shed, isn't it? And we got like a
A hell
whole
of a
team
team.
of equipment managers now too, right? Andy
Oh,
over
you
in
had
Sweden
Fargo
running
on.
amok.
You got Fargo. That was a really good one. I enjoyed that. And then
His
you got
nickname's
Maxi. Spoke to
Fago.
Maxi today. I call him Fargo.
Hmm.
Looks like he's from that little town in buttfuck nowhere. So definitely from Fargo. But yeah, and I was talking to Maxi this morning. So and then I spoke to Taff. I don't know, an hour ago, maybe a little more.
You guys are in touch with each other, eh? You shed guy, kit guys.
We keep in touch. We all
Hmm.
know what's going on across the world, and I spoke to a couple of guys at the World Championships the last few days that I know, and so.
Yeah. Well, we'll
Oh
get it.
wait, let me cancel that.
What are you doing now?
There you
I'm
go.
I'm surprised you can even sign into Zoom, dude.
I had to re-download it. It's been I normally use my Mac, but the camera's broke, so I have to use my phone today.
Well, you look fine. But Andy said when he came on Fargo, that
Yeah,
to ask you next time you come on about burning his buddy's blocker and glove on the dryer.
see, I didn't burn it and I didn't melt it. There's a whole nother story, but I'm not talking about it here because it'll open up a big can of worms and it'll piss people off.
Well,
But
mistakes happen,
I'll talk
Dease.
to you off air. I'll
Fair
talk to you
enough.
off air.
Fair enough. But mistakes happen, Dease. And if they're your
Oh,
mistake,
there's
you just
mistakes.
gotta own it, right? Just own it. Say,
Yeah,
hey, my bad,
yeah.
guys. I'll be better. But if that's not the case, that's fine. Okay.
There's my side, there's his side, and if I tell my side, it'll turn into a shit show. So we'll just keep it off air.
Well, I know what you're like as an equipment guy. I remember there was like one or two guys that like ruffled your feathers a bit. And then the guys that don't ruffle your feathers, you're like, what do you want me to do for you? Anything. I'll do anything. I'll tighten every screw on your helmet before games. I remember you doing that for me. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, I don't need anything from you. My helmet's fine. But then there are other guys that kept asking for stuff, and you're like, man, this guy doesn't stop.
yeah, they get shut down pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be
There's
annoying.
so yeah.
Like, what do
So
you really need to go out there and muck it up in a
yeah,
practice?
I haven't I haven't had one of those guys for a few years. You get one guy every year that's a little more high maintenance than others,
Hmm.
but
That's
I haven't had
natural.
one of those guys for a few years now where you hear they say this. I'm like, oh shit.
Here we go again.
So yeah. So luckily I've done well.
Well, you mentioned Taff, so he'd be in Prague with Team Great
Yep.
Britain, my favorite squad. And it's a Disney movie, folks. I'm going to keep saying it until Disney makes a movie. Tomorrow, our fellas are about to lace them up against Team Canada and Connor Bedard.
Yeah. And they brought in five more players today, Team Canada too. So who they brought in? Tavares has showed up today. Braden Point showed up. Another
Really?
Lightning guy. Yeah, they brought in
That's
five guys that have just got knocked out the playoffs.
that's not going to help Team
So
Great Britain.
no, No, Bounsy's going to see more rubber than the M4. I think Bounsy's going to see.
Wow.
That's if he's a starter. I don't know who the starter is tomorrow.
Right. Well, they're ready. I can't wait. I'm gonna whatever time it's at. I'm getting up to watch that sucker. I'll be wearing all my Team GB swag to watch it too.
I don't know. Do you want me to see what time it is for you? Wait a second. I don't know what time it is tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure it's early here.
That'd be early for you, but I don't know if they get the afternoon game or if they got the evening game tomorrow.
You just
What day is
focus
it
and
today,
stay in the
Wally?
shed here. Don't worry about it. That's tomorrow's problems. I'll be there supporting the
Oh,
boys.
here you go. It's 12:20 Prague time, so it's 11:20 my time.
It's
What are you? You're five behind me, aren't you?
It's
6:20.
6:20 a.m. Yeah, I'll be there.
Nice.
Yeah. Got to support your boys. Like when you think about it, when I go to the Big Blue Tent in Cardiff, Wales in 2014-15, then the end of that season when I'm writing my capstone or thesis or whatever the thing's called, and I'm in Eli Jenkins, my honey hole in Cardiff Bay, and I'm watching Team GB in the World Championships, and they're in like the third division down or whatever. And then you see our fellows when back-to-back golds, they're in the top pool. They beat France in overtime, and Ben Davis scores the overtime winner. And fun fact, he's coming to the shed on Monday, we're pretty sure. And that's going to be right after he mucks
Nice.
it up against Canada and Finland. And then he's going to come to my shed. That's hockey, baby. Right?
He's going to be tired.
Yeah.
He is going to be super tired.
Well, I'll try and keep him up.
You'll be fine.
This is something to document for the rest of their lives, though, right? Playing Team Canada and Connor Bedard, and like they've earned this opportunity, right?
Yeah, and you don't get to play against, like, they've earned to be there and they're playing against the world's best. And so, regardless of what the result is, they've just got to embrace that they shared the ice with them.
Oh yeah,
That's the main thing.
and man, and do whatever it takes to not get relegated. When they beat France in that overtime game, man, it's like every country has their goal. It's like we have Paul Henderson from right around the corner here in Lucknow, Ontario. Scored the big goal for Canada against Russia way back when. And then Ben Davis's goal against France was like that moment for Team GB, right?
It's wild. It was wild. I remember it. John had just put it long, and then John a button hooked in the corner, fed Venny, forehand, backhand, shelf.
Game, set, match.
So, but the last game of the tournament's GB Austria, and I think that'll be whoever wins that will stay up.
Right.
So that's going to be
Is
tough
there
for
not a
me because I've got
relegation game at
friends.
the end though, where it comes down to one
No,
game? No.
no, it's the bottom team. Whoever has the lowest points at the end of the round robin goes down. So,
And
but
they
that's
play
going to be tough for
Austria
me.
last.
Yeah, because I got five guys. I won't say a lot more about that actually, but because they're not announced.
Right.
But I got five guys that are going to be with me next year, and I've got a lot of other friends on that team that have been through Graz, or I know
So
from
you're
being
gonna be
around the league.
invested in that hockey match, eh?
Yeah,
You're not getting confused on who to cheer for, are you?
no, that's we got to cheer for GB, but it's going to be a tough one when you've got buddies playing buddies.
Well, and if anybody wants to hear it from me, when Canada plays Team Great Britain, I'm cheering for Team Great Britain. Sorry, Canadians. It is what it is. My friends are on Team Great Britain. I don't know anybody on Team Canada, so whatever.
No, that's it. You got to go with your buddies, and I've got a lot of buddies on that GB team.
And it
So,
sure is fun seeing the underdogs do her, you know?
oh
Just
yeah, every
imagine
time.
like if they competed tomorrow and it was a close game, and man, that'd be some fun stuff.
They can hold the problem is the depth. Obviously, Canada have got four huge lines, and they're just going to burn GB out. So if they can if they can run with them, they'll be fine. But they've got to run with them and keep running with them.
Well, I hope they hang right in there because I always said like when I was in Europe and NHL guys that have been in the league for years would come over and I'm like, that's really only how good you are. Like I thought you were going to be better than this. And
See it all the time.
right. And then like I don't think that the level I was playing at in Europe was really that far off. Like I know it's not the NHL, but it's not that far off. And like there are guys that could go from those leagues and hang in there and you wouldn't even notice, you know?
It's small margins and details. It's more about position and details than out and out stick handling and skill level.
Yeah. Well,
So
and those NHL guys are good. I've been watching some of this NHL stuff. There is some talent out there these days.
there's some disgustingly sick things with Bedard, McDavid, Draisaitl. It's like holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they really toss the puck around these days. I find it interesting watching the NHL now though that like the first power play units on almost every team, like they're taking up like the whole 2 minutes. And it's like now you see why
Yeah,
these guys are putting up 150 points. It's because they don't ever change on the power play. Like it wasn't long ago where every team was using 2 power plays every power play, and now that those days seem to be gone.
yeah. Unit one took 1 minute, 1 minute 15, and then Unit two came out and see what they did.
Yeah.
And like you say now, you got McDavid out there for the full two, and it's crazy. It's crazy fitting. But then once you set up in a zone, you don't actually move a lot because you just pinballing the puck around and let the puck work for you.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
all scene work.
Well, and like if you have those guys and they don't get tired for 2 minutes, you're going to put them out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
I probably couldn't have lasted the whole 2 minutes, conditioning issues.
That's what Lisa said.
So Team Austria, you were just with them in the under 18s, eh? How'd that go?
Well, we got a bronze. We really should have won it because we were 2-1 up over Germany, who won the gold, and then we let in two goals super late in the game, lost 3-2, and
Oof.
then so Germany went through obviously and got the gold, and then I think it was it was our last game. It was us and Ukraine for the silver, not Sylvia. We had to win in regulation to get the silver, and we were tied 2-2 with 2 minutes to go. So we pulled the goalie because once we go to overtime, we were stuck in bronze. And then they just got lucky and scored, so we got bronze. But it was a real tight group, real fun tournament, and got to see a few equipment guys that I know from around my league and from just being around. So it
What
was fun to
countries
hang
were
out with
they
everyone.
with then?
My one buddy Nikolai's with Denmark, and then I know the German guy. He was really good fun. And then JP, my friend JP, he was in Linz this year. He's a Finnish guy, and somehow he was on the Japanese team. So it was like walked in the rink. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Well,
So it was nice
it's
to hang out with
interesting
guys.
being around arenas again, and hockey people they're the ones around the hockey arenas. It's like going back to small town Ontario nowadays, and like we go wherever to whatever arena, and it's like almost every arena I go into, I know somebody from somewhere, you know? It's weird.
It's wild.
Mm.
It really is such a small world.
Well, small world then. Your assistant coach for Team Austria under 18s, Matthias Lange, mucked it up
Yeah,
against him.
yeah.
He's a good goalie.
He was a good goalie back in his day, and his brother's going to be my head coach next season.
Harry is?
Yeah, Harry, that's it. Yeah, you know him from Germany, right?
He's the head coach in Graz?
Yeah, yeah.
Tell him to get his ass in the shed.
He's kind of busy right now because he's the assistant coach for Team Germany, and they're like probably halfway through their game against Slovakia right now.
So,
So I
okay.
spoke to him this morning,
He's the
but
assistant coach of Team Germany right now.
yeah, let's
There
see
is
what
a
that
real
score
shed
is.
guy convention going on in Prague right now.
Germany are 2-0 up over Slovakia. Yeah,
Well, Harry I met in Dresden, but the first time I heard about him was from Sebastian Charpentier, Sharpie, my goalie in Bietigheim, absolute dandy. They played together in Graz or somewhere in Austria, and he raved of Harry Longe. And then he came to Dresden to play in our league, and he always raved about how he played, and he was their captain in Graz. And now he's the head coach, eh?
yeah. So small world, but yeah,
Small
Matty
world.
was great fun while we were away. Had a lot of fun with Matty.
Yeah, well, he was in Schwenningen when I was in like Bietigheim, and then when
Yeah,
I got asked to leave Bietigheim and went to Hellbron, he was the punk that rolled in before playoffs and then won the championship for Bietigheim.
Nice. Just what you
The
need.
year after I left, that punk went in there and won it for them.
And he was also he played at RPI and he played with Lordo and Mo.
She's a small world when you start thinking about it, ain't it?
Real small.
Well, good for Harry. That would be like that sounds like it fits, man. He was the captain way back when, and he's become a
Yeah.
great coach in Germany, and now he's going back.
Yeah, but he gets to work with me, so he's like extra lucky.
Yeah, I think he'll get you from what I know of him.
Yeah, I've only met him once when he came to Graz for a visit, and we had a great time.
Well, you will have a
Didn't
great
didn't
time.
get
He's a great guy.
yeah.
I don't know him that well,
That's all that matters.
but I already know because Shed guys vouch for him. I did look at your roster for next season. There's a great name on it. Trevor Gooch. That's a good last name,
Yeah,
Gooch.
that's good. I'm gonna give it to him all season. That's for sure. But
I,
he's a great guy.
yeah.
He came into Graz because he was in Slovenia last year with Ljubljana, and so once we signed him at the end of the season, he came up and put some stuff, and he's living right by me, same floor apartment. So I met him and his girl, and he seems like a great guy. So we'll have fun.
How is your German now? Can du sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch? Du
Ich kann
bist.
sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch, aber sehr kleiner. Um, I can order food, taxis,
Can you talk to your
drinks.
players?
Yeah, I can talk a little, but it's the dialects when they talk really fast to each other, and then like you get two Salzburg guys together or two guys from Innsbruck, and I'm like, whoa, I don't know what you're saying now. But if
Mm,
they slow it down, I can like pretty much understand everything.
yeah. Ich
My
verstanden
reading is
alles.
nowhere near good. Yeah,
I could
alles good.
understand everything, but I couldn't say what I wanted to say all the time. You know?
I can say a lot more now, but reading, I'm like, Google Translate that.
I used to be able to like Hammer, my boy, one of my best friends in the world and best teammates out there. He would teach me how to trash talk in German, so I could like call people little whores and stuff like that. You know?
I haven't learned a lot of trash talking yet. I just know du bist
Every
ein Arschloch.
right, I would, but like guys would laugh at me when I'd say it because it would be funny, right? I was like joking when
Yeah,
I yeah, it was like fun. Du kleine Nute, you know. Um. Anyways, I had something else pop up in my head, but I don't think I should bring it up, should I?
I don't know. I'll just say no comment if it's not for public knowledge.
No, well, there's just not a lot of circumcision in Germany. I don't know what's going on in Austria.
I don't know what. I'm not a bird watcher, but
Yes, you are.
when the
You
guys
you yes,
when the
you
guys
are.
roll
I know you are. You're always hanging around the
when the
locker
guys
rooms
roll
taking a
around,
peek.
then there's there's a lot of hoodies, a
Yeah.
lot of hoodies,
Yeah, there is an uh
a lot of turtlenecks going on.
Armeisenbären, that's an anteater in German. So when the
Yeah,
boys
that's
get in the
it.
shower, I
That's
would
it.
always
Yeah,
say, "Ah, Armeisenbären, Armeisenbären." Yeah, I was just having fun, but
there's a lot of anteaters. Yeah,
yeah, Armeisenbärens. See, my German is still good.
still got it.
Yeah.
Can
Anywho,
still order a doner.
um, so you got anything to talk about today? I only have a few notes. We were gonna go no notes here until you had stuff to do for a bit.
No, I got nothing to talk about. I'm just super busy here with I'm back home in Cardiff for I think I got another 6 weeks or something. I'm just doing a lot of stuff for my mum around the house because like we spoke about before, my dad passed.
Yeah,
So
that
I'm doing a lot of
sucks.
things for her and sorting out the house and shit. And then
Well, it's
just
nice you get an off
lunching.
season in your job to get to go home and help her, right?
Yeah, it's
Most
huge. I'm
jobs you don't
I'm
get an
lucky.
off season. Did you know I don't have an off season anymore? You work all the
I
time.
I don't do that. As soon as season's finished, I pack down, get the guys out, and then I'm like, "See you, boys."
No, and that is a great part of being a hockey player professionally is the off season. It's a great time.
Oh, it's great. I saw Hendo yesterday. Uh, went to see Corky and Todd. Was it yesterday?
So
No,
why, when
Wednesday.
you're
Well, I
seeing all
still
these shed
missed them.
guys, why aren't you guys taking fun selfies and sending them to me? I don't get it,
I just didn't think. Just didn't
right?
think. And then
No,
I,
that's
s-
that's not
I
uncommon for
spoke to
you.
the silent assassin. The silent assassin was messaging me the other day. You
You
know,
mean you mean Richie?
Rich. Yeah, Richie was messaging me the other day, and
I
so
always
when
called
they
him the
get
quiet
when
psycho because he would
oh, that's
block
it,
any
the
shot
silent
with.
assassin.
Yeah. I got to get him in the shed too. Thank him for all my Team GB swag that I wear so proudly around here. You know,
Oh, he's got a lot of that over the years. He's accumulated a lot of that.
and that's how I got it. He says, "Hey, Wally, do you want this? Because I got quite a bit." I was like,
Yeah,
it would mean the world to me. Can you? Yes, I'll take all of it. Thank you. Now I feel like I'm part of the team. You know, from over here,
you got your swag. You can roll around, and everyone's like, "What the fuck? Where'd you get that?"
right? Yeah, and they're like, "Whoa, like what? What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's right. I'm part of the team." Shed boost. It's like they
Official
won the
head
gold medal
cheerleader.
last year, and Sarah from Sheffield brought a Shed Boost Team GB flag, and Mosey took a picture with a Shed Boost Team Great Britain flag on the ice after winning gold. What a world! Like that is just melts my heart over here. You know,
That's sick.
it is
Super international now, Wally.
right. I had a fun idea this morning, and I texted one of my horses' moms to find out that both my horses, episode 363, made AAA after last season and winning all
Nice.
Ontario. And one of them I switched from a D-man to a centerman, and the other guy had been cut from them last year to come back and play for me. And then he went there, ran amok, made the team right away, and both of them are on it. And I thought it was fun sponsoring Critch last year, and I thought, my horses are in AAA now. It'd be pretty cool if they were wheeling around with two A's and hockey tails on the back of their jerseys, right?
That's sick.
But
So
so they
they've
said they
just
won't. They
tied it
won't.
up in
They.
Germany.
Oh dear, 2-2 now.
Yeah, looks like let's see, they got two quick goals.
What?
Yeah, they
Anyways,
got
hey, Dease, stay with me here. They would. They won't. They only will let someone sponsor the whole team and not just my horses.
oh,
I'd have to sponsor the whole team,
strange.
and I don't
Three
even
two
know any other
Germany.
kids. 3-2 Germany for Harry.
Germany
Wonder who
just
else is
scored.
coaching that team with him. Because I know a lot of coaches in Germany. The under 20 coach was Toby Abstrater, my
I
line
don't
mate's
know if you
brother.
can see. I don't know if you can see the coaches on the IIHF website. Let me see.
You're distracted, Deese. You're like those new
I
school punks that can't get off screens. We're talking to each other.
I,
Look at me.
I got ADHD, Wally. Of course I'm distracted. No, it doesn't say.
Okay, well, we can look it up later. Okay, Deese? Stay with me. Stay in the pocket.
I got it. I got it,
I
coach.
I know we've talked like 37 times this shed, but you were the equipment guy in Manchester before they came the chocolatey Manchester Storm, right?
What a season of wildness that was. That was a fun year, actually.
Ginner was the goalie and Finner was the coach back then. Eh? Isn't it
Yeah,
weird how the hockey world changes?
it's super weird. And Guinness just announced that his wife is pregnant,
Hmm.
so everybody's growing up.
I know. Isn't it weird seeing the puppies grow up?
It's super weird,
It's like that
super duper
Devils
weird.
documentary when like Batchy and Bouncy and everybody's got kids, and you're like, remember when it was just Colby ripping around? There's no other kids around.
I met Batchy's kid a few weeks ago. No, sorry, Bouncy's kid. I went for dinner at Bouncy's place, and he actually cooked dinner, and I didn't die, so that was good. And
I never knew
I was
Bouncy could
like,
cook.
oh, I put it in the microwave for 3 minutes. That was all. We just had some micro fries. It was fine. I
Hmm.
called it cooking.
Um, well, anyways, was Greg Bold the bus driver when you were there? Was there the Greggy bus?
Yeah, Greggy was there. Oh, that was got some. He had always had hot dogs on the way home. It's some little hot dog cooking thing, and we
He
had
seems to
hot
really take
dogs, and he
care of
always
the
had beers for
boys.
the boys. Oh, beauty, absolute beauty, Greggy with his cow. He had cow print cowboy boots, like black and white cow prints. They were fucking wild.
He's
He was
hilarious. He's
awesome.
hilarious, dude. Like he's hilarious. I'll post pictures. And if there's like a topless dude, he'll be like, "Wow."
Oh yeah,
I'm like, Greggy, come on, man.
yeah. He's fucking wild. Some great conversations with Greggy. He loves to drink tequila, and sometimes like end of season awards got him buckled. And he I'd say that's a guy who could write a book. Did a lot of things on buses.
Well, that's why you have him in the shed, is because then you get to hear all these fun stories. And like, he's such a shed guy. Then Jake went up to, I think it was Dundee, my director of shed marketing that got the Chocolate Storm started with
Yeah,
me. He got the tour of the Greggy bus while before boys were warming up out in Dundee. And it's like, that's so hockey with shed guys helping shed guys, you know?
that's Greggy, 100%. Loves that bus. Never seen a bus cleaner actually.
A lot of guys rave of the bus. I didn't
Oh, they
realize a
always
bus
get
could
a
be that
thick
good. I
bus.
mean, they're all just buses. You just get
Oh
on there and
no,
sleep and play cards. And then they need a
no,
fridge.
it's buses like you get a shit bus and it makes a trip miserable. You get a good bus and a good driver and it can change the trip totally.
You know what? The driver does matter, hey?
Oh,
You,
hugely.
you get those ones that hit the brakes and everybody's sleeping, and you're like, are you serious?
Oh,
You know?
or the ones that like that hit the brakes, then they accelerate hard as well. So you're like, uh.
And you know what? I could be a great bus driver. I am as cool and calm behind the wheel as anybody can get.
Then you've got
But
to help load the bus though, Wally. So that's not so fun.
mm, yeah,
And
no,
they're
I was never
great
good.
at
I was
Tetris.
never good at that. Loading the bus was not my
No,
forte.
those bus drivers, you have to have a degree in Tetris to figure out how to get everything in there.
Yeah, they do pack a lot of crap in the bottom of that bus, don't they?
Oh, wild.
Yeah.
Especially like when you go like in my league, I take so much stuff on road trips, and yeah, I'm always, and especially if we're going on a camp like this year, but last year we went to Slovakia, we went to Nitra for 5 days, maybe 7 days, and you can just imagine the amount of shit I have to take for a 7 day roadie. And
Yeah.
I was like, where the fuck are we going to put all this? Because I take 4 stick bags, the amount of tape and everything. And it all goes in somehow. I don't know how, but he gets it all on the bus.
Yeah. No, it is there's a lot to playing hockey. I've noticed it way more now that I'm not just a player, where you like take everything for granted and you just pack your own bag and get on the bus and go play the game. It's like, to make minor hockey happen, to get the refs to the games, to get a scorekeeper, to get all the different people that it takes to pull off a hockey game. And it's like in pro, there's way more people that it takes. There's all of it. There's the security people, there's all of it. There's a lot goes
It's
into putting
crazy.
a game on, isn't there?
There's a lot of balls in the air if you were a juggler. There's a lot of things going on.
Well, and if you were like building an organization, like Todd with the Devils, or all these other pro teams, it's like, to actually win, I would say it takes everyone. And like, it does take the right people in all those positions to actually have the players go out there and win a championship, I think.
Yeah, you can't do it unless everyone's going in the same direction.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to buy in. Everyone's got to go same direction because once you go in, you got one, two, three people going against you, then it's just a
Being
shit show and it makes
miserable
it
and
tough.
negative, and it's just
Yeah,
like, oh, I
yeah.
don't even want to be around you.
No, you can't be miserable, and especially the equipment guy. If you've got a grumpy equipment guy, it'll kill a room real fast.
It does.
Because
Oh yeah.
obviously, equipment, we're the first guy you see when you walk in every day. So if the equipment guy is grumpy and miserable, it's like, oh boy. Or
Yeah.
if the coach is grumpy and miserable, that's why you need an equipment guy to be the middle to say, hey, stay out the coach's way today.
Mhm.
Just leave him in his room and don't go bug him because he's in one of his moods. That was my job in Cardiff when Lordo would freak out about something. I have to go, we'll just leave him alone.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, you got to know when to leave people alone, that's for sure. But the equipment guy having a good attitude is a huge deal. That was like when I'd walk in the back of the big blue tent and you'd be standing there in a puddle with electrical cords going across the floor, sharpening skates with your tiny little shoes on. And I'm like, oh, Dease is here. He's ready to play.
Normally scream, morning, Wally, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Anyways, then when I stopped playing, then it'd be like, what are we doing tonight? And you'd be like, okay, go to Toys R Us. Here's your budget. Make a plan.
Let's see what we can figure out. See what's on sale so Toddy doesn't have a heart attack with us.
I remember the one pregame speech when I started chucking ninja stars.
Oh, they were funny. You took those off Colby, didn't you?
Well, no,
Came out
I
as a
got them from
ninja.
Toys R Us, and then we used them that night, and then it was Colby's new toy.
Then Colby's like, sick.
I think Todd was thrilled when he got those receipts, right?
Not particularly. He's like, when the fuck did I give you a budget? And I said, remember, we were at the bar and we were a fair few beers in, and you were like, just do what it takes to win. And I was like, okay.
And we were doing what we thought it took to
Yeah,
win, right?
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So
It took the
we were rolling.
samurai swords, it took the ninja stars, it took all that. And
Took the
that
fucking
game,
Thor hammer.
the Thor hammer. Actually, I
Oh
don't want
boy.
to give you nightmares, Dease, but I do keep that safe here in the shed.
Oof.
Do you remember?
Still got the scar. That ain't fading.
We were playing hockey, weren't we? I hit you with that thing as hard as I could hit somebody with a hammer.
I couldn't walk straight for like 2 weeks after that.
It still thundered and lightning for years. Yeah, still
But it
does.
was still
It's
going.
the battery's still going. And Pigs gave this to Colby when he turned 2 or 3. He's 11 now.
Fuck.
Batteries still work.
Wow. Still probably got some of my ass skin stuck to it.
Well, we won that game, right? You took it for
I
the
forget
team,
the
Deese.
score.
You took it for the team. You blocked that shot for the boys, right? Just was a hammer, not a puck.
Yeah. It was a last minute clap bomb, it felt like.
When you had all day to prepare and you go on the fan bus all the way to Sheffield, and then you get there a bit early and you hit the bar with the fans from the Devils and Sheffield, and then you're like, all right, guys, I gotta go. And they're all laughing because they know I'm going to give a pregame speech. And then you sneak me into the showers. You can get a little wound up while you're standing there naked in the showers, trying to make sure the sensors don't go off, right? Um,
Exactly. And
so
then that
when
was the time I walked past the bar. That was also I walked past the bar and I could just see you in there, and I was like, oh, I'll sneak in. And I quickly someone threw me a beer and I downed a beer and then went back over to the locker room. Laura's like, where have you been? I don't know where, don't worry.
Oh man, yeah, but then when you come out and you're Steeler Dan, I'm like, well, watch this. I'm gonna beat up Steeler Dan for you boys, just like you're gonna beat up the
Mm.
Steelers tonight, and we did, right?
Yep, we did. I did
But
it with a limp, but we did it.
what's weird for me now is after that and how much hatred I had towards the Steelers is now Steeler Dan, the real one, is going out on the ice at intermission and playing paper rock scissor with Barry the Baguette, who wears a two L's and hockey tails hat at every game last season, and they played paper rock scissor a series at every game, and the guy's wearing a two L's hat. It's like, man, that's cool.
When are you getting Steeler Dan on?
I don't know. I tried to get Lightning Jack on from Manchester, and he said Finner would not approve of him talking.
Yeah, Lightning Jack doesn't speak, so yeah, I guess it's the same with Steeler Dan. He did mascots don't speak, so
Do you
you
imagine
can't
being
really
in
do a lot.
hockey and not being allowed to talk? That is the only reason I liked playing hockey was to talk to people.
Yeah, that'd be tough. Be really tough. I
I
remember
don't
I got
know
in
how much
trouble
I would
in.
enjoy hockey when you're not allowed to speak and then kids come up and either high five you or punch you in the balls.
Do you remember in yeah, I think you were there in Coventry when they can walk back like past the back of the bench and the mascot, what's his name, Scorch or something, pushed me in the back and we were losing and I turned around and I just punched the mascot in the head. I remember getting in trouble for that one.
Um, there's some mascot history in the shed. When I went on my Sutherland Cup run with my fellows from my hometown and we won the championship, my best friend who had not played hockey growing up, he jumped into it late. He was our mascot. He was the lion, and he would go out before the games and skate around with the flag, and he got into it. I mean, he was kind of like my pregame speaking. He had to get lubricated before to really get in the zone. And, he even went on some road games too, like I did as a pregame speaker. It takes everybody to win. I remember one night in Stratford, our big rival, he went out there and pretended to be a lion, got down on all fours and pretended to pee on the logo. And man, they didn't like that.
Tough one.
He
Tough
didn't
one, that one.
actually pee on it. He just pretended. He was just having
No, but
fun, but they didn't like that.
no, I can see why they don't like that one.
Well, so yeah, that was his first dust up. But then we go to the actual finals against the Thorold Blackhawks, the hometown of our goat, Joey Martin. And
Yep.
he's in the crowd
And
watching.
Sean Bentavolio.
Yes, exactly. Benty too. But anyways, we're in the finals, and the goat and Benty are watching in the crowd. And my best friend, the lion, fought their Blackhawk, I believe is what they are. Thorold Blackhawks. It was a Blackhawk. They
Yes.
got in a brawl in the hallway, like not even in front of all the fans. Like they fought each other in the
Sick.
hallway. And Uncle Scoot won. Haha. He's now my brother-in-law. And we won the series. Suck it, Blackhawks.
That's good hockey.
It was good hockey, and it took everybody. Even my 15-year-old buddy Ken Dunn fought John Scott, who was way older and bigger than him,
Ooh,
and he was like, "Watch
ooh.
this, guys! Watch what I'll do for the boys. I'm gonna go out there and fight John Scott," and it was hilarious.
I can imagine that was a one-way ticket.
He hung in there, just like I would.
Good.
You know, just hang in there.
Uh,
Don't get hurt.
Put your head down, hold on.
Yeah. Anyways, mascots can be fun if they get involved, right? I think there should be more mascot fights in hockey. Just
That'd
thinking
be
out loud
that,
in the shed again.
that'd be a good pay-per-view.
Have all the mascots get in brawls.
Yeah. Mascot Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
King of the Ring. That'd be
Anywho,
sick.
what are we talking about? You know what I found weird though was the Devils have had the same guys, like our crew, our core from way back in 2014, 15, which is bizarre. But like you were the Manchester equipment guy in 18, 19, and Ginner's still there and Finner's still there. Finner and Ginner. But Dallas Earhart's like the only player that's still
Yeah.
there.
Big Bad Dal is still there. He's what's Dallas now? He's got to be 33, I think, somewhere around there. I don't know. He's been there so long. I think he's older than he is. So knowing my luck, he's probably like late 20s, but I feel like he's early to mid 30s. But I don't know.
He's been there a long time,
Great
and
guy.
I see him fighting big boys, and like he mucks it up, eh?
He's just a leader. He's a
Mhm.
warrior. He'll do whatever it takes. He's got some silky hands. But I'm sure you've seen the highlight reel of the goal he scored when he was junior, I think, where he
No,
did some disco dancing shit. Or if you type him into YouTube, you'll find some sick. It's either a breakaway or a penalty shot. I can't remember, but he's got some sick hands, and he'll lie down and eat pucks for you. He'll go in a corner and fight guys, do whatever he needs to do.
it seems like that
Great guy.
Critchlow is the same type of dude. So they got a couple good leaders there. I don't know the deal with Critch if he's coming back. Like I sponsored him this season, and man, what a guy to sponsor. The guy scores, fights, mucks it up. Then he makes Team Great Britain, and now he's becoming a staple of that team too. And he's scoring and mucking it up. And it's like, man, I have good taste in men. you know?
Jim Lisa doesn't, but there we go.
Then again, I'm talking to you today. It's funny though, because you equipment guys in the off season, you guys got time. If I text you and I'm like, hey, I want to talk today, it gets my juices flowing. You guys are responsive, you and Moose and Andy. These players, man, they can play hard to get. They think they're all so busy, and I'm like, what are you doing? It's the off season. What do you got to
Yeah, they're
do?
up at the cottage,
Well, you go home
being
and you haven't seen
family,
family for so long. The first
friends.
couple weeks when you get home is exhausting when it's
Oh,
like
it's
you got to
crazy. My
see
phone
that.
doesn't stop.
Yeah, and it's exciting though, man. I used getting on that plane from Germany on my way back home. man, I'd be so juiced up. And like when you're younger and before kids and all that, and like every time you come back and the boys are all together the night you get back, and then don't matter how tired you are,
Oh, it's go time. It's go time.
it's time to reconnect.
Exactly.
Yeah, I used to love that stuff. That was a fun day getting back home for the year. But yeah, those guys are all doing that. Like I did try to get Ginner in again, and he's just home now, and I know how busy that would be, you know?
Especially with a pregnant girlfriend, showing off the bump to the whole family and having that news. It's going to be crazy for him.
Hmm. Yes.
And
And
obviously trying to build a team for next year.
what?
Coaches don't get so much time off.
Well, the recruiting is so important to the people you get, eh? You'd have to make a lot of phone calls to make sure you're getting the right people.
Giant. I couldn't imagine being a coach. Like, bad enough being an equipment guy talking to players so much about their equipment and things when you sign them, but they're signed, they're done. It's not like you have to keep talking to guys to see if they fit your room, fit your culture, fit what you want to do, what they want to do, and you have to speak to 1,000 guys to sign one. So
Why,
I couldn't be a
phew,
coach.
I remember when we were in Cardiff and Lordo had Doucette in the summer, like just
Oh yeah,
searching, just searching elite prospects,
yeah,
like just searching. And it was like, man, I do that. The research team can do that for fun when I lock down a guy. I'm like, okay, this is who I'm talking
yeah,
to.
because
Let's
you know what
roll.
you got. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, but to just search through all that, man, there's a lot of us out there.
ugh, I couldn't do that.
That's what I like about this so coaching minor hockey is a wild ride to me because you have to get the parents on the same side as everybody and the coaches and the players and like make sure they're buying into what you're doing. And then you also have to have the kids do it, which I'm more into the kids. I don't really talk to the parents that much, you know. I get to know the kids. But like
Yeah, you don't need to know the
there's a lot
parents.
to it, but the one thing I don't have to do is recruiting. It's like, so if you kids want to go try out in AAA, good luck if that's what you want
See
to
you
go
later.
do. But I'm here coaching, and if you want to play for me, I'm the coach here. And whoever shows up to tryouts, I'll be here, and I'm going to pick the kids that earn it. I don't care who your parents are, who you're related to. Whoever earns it will be on the team. You know,
It's a lot easier, and
a
you know they
lot
want to
easier.
be there. You
And I
know,
don't have to figure it out till the fall. I don't have to call nobody.
no, they just roll in and say, "Hey, see you, the coach. Nice, great."
Yeah. Recruiting would, man, if I became a coach and pro, like that recruiting thing would be so important this time of year.
Yeah, it's like, and a lot of recruiting is done at the tail end of the regular season. So, players are signed in playoffs, and players are signed still in the regular season. They know where they're going. Well, that's how it is in Europe, mainland Europe.
I do
Like
know, man. It was bizarre to me when I got over there and I didn't know what it was like. And then I'm playing for Landshut, and that's just my team. And I hadn't been talking to anybody about the next season. And then I show up for the first round of playoffs, and like our best defenseman, Geipe, is getting interviewed by all these news people. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And they're like, oh,
yeah,
it got leaked that he's switching to Beatingheim at the end of the year. I'm like, you're saying our player has signed with a different team? And then you find out that is completely normal.
completely normal to announce it before the season's ended, before the playoffs have ended,
And then the
and
fans don't
you're
like
like,
them because they're
what?
leaving and they don't
Yeah,
understand why. And you're like, well, they offer you a contract and they're like, you have 24 hours to decide. And you're like,
yeah.
okay. And then you take it, which a lot of guys would if it's for more money and the other team's saying they won't do it. And it's like, so then you fans are going to get mad at the player because he wants to make way more money and play for a different team next year that offered him,
And yeah, and support his family and have maybe a better chance at winning, or a better lifestyle, or a better city, whatever.
or like
And
he's a
it's like
pro hockey player
yeah,
and he only has a short window to make money and somebody's offered him a contract that he wants to take. It's like, so you're going to hold that personally
yeah,
against him as a player and a person? Okay.
it's yeah, it's like, so if your boss came to you, or if your competitor at your office, and a competitor came to you and said, "Hey, we're going to pay you 5, 10,000 more to do the exact same thing. I'm going to give you a nicer apartment. We're going to give you shorter travel. and you're going to live in a capital city or a ski city or something. Do you want it? And you're going to be like, yeah, because you got to look after number one at the end of the day.
And that's funny because if I got offered by any competitor, I wouldn't be going anywhere because I work for a shed guy and I ain't going nowhere. Because when I left Cardiff and I had nothing and I had nobody and I'm in a new town where nobody knows me, this fella took a chance on me. And then he trusts me, he has my back, he knows what I'm doing out here in the shed, and he thinks it's hilarious, and he knows that I got his back and I'm
Perfect.
gonna do my job. And it's like I ain't going nowhere.
No, and then that's it. It goes a long way because the
And it's the
trust he
same in
puts in you,
hockey,
you
right?
return to him.
Yeah, and in hockey, man, when teams have your back, when you feel like a part of something, guys will take less to stay where they're happy.
Yeah, just for an easier lifestyle,
Or to play
and
for
just
certain
to know,
coaches, right?
yeah, just to know what you got.
Mm-hmm.
I got to
I
take one AirPod out because they're dying.
I knew you wouldn't be
We'll
prepared
go.
today. Come on, Dease.
Not my fault. They're old. The battery doesn't last so long. We've been talking a while. It'll charge in 5 minutes, then I'll switch. It'll be fine.
Okay, I know you're always gonna make it work. Who won your league this year? You guys didn't make playoffs.
I think Klagenfurt won it and won the regular season, but like that means, it doesn't mean a lot in Austria. It's playoffs, so it was a Salzburg Klagenfurt final. It went to game seven in the final, and Salzburg won it. So
Really?
got a lot of yeah. I'm really good friends with the two Salzburg equipment guys, so it was good for them.
Yeah, Salzburg wins that quite a bit, right? With that Red Bull budget.
It's their third year in a row. They had the three-peat this year.
Hmm. Money talks, they say.
Money does. It's pro sports, money talks.
Money does talk. Yeah, that's always been a destination. People always have wanted to go to Salzburg. Beautiful city, and they got money to pay hockey players, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
always
it's
remembered the stories when I was there, though, that they had some coach. Don't need to really bring up any names, but like guys knew that, yeah, you'd make money going there, but you're gonna
you
pay
got
the
to eat some
piper.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need a
yeah.
big old shit burger, and it's gonna be running, biking, squatting, jumping, running.
Well, that's it. You pay the big bucks. You expect your pound of flesh.
Yeah, the thing I never got into that I hear is a thing now in hockey is the heart rate monitors on people all the time, and it's like
Oh, they're
I don't
everywhere.
think I don't think anybody wanted to see what my ticker was ticking at because it would have been a high rate.
Yeah, they probably would have called a cardiologist for you, Wally.
Yeah, oh yeah, there was a few times I was going down.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't
there's
need a
just
heart rate
Richie
monitor, folks.
coasting.
I know I'm trying hard.
That's just doing up your skates.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. Tough night before. You and Hendo got together the night before. We were like, gonna be a tough morning. Don't ask these to
Uh,
sharpen skates. Don't
I,
ask Wally to move a lot.
I always thought it was the funniest hockey situation ever when Hendo first got to Cardiff and was having fun. And it's a fun city and it's easy place to have fun if you want to have fun. And Hendo was having fun during the weeks. And then he'd show up to practice and put like the icy hot on his neck so you
Oh
can't
yeah,
smell his breath. And
because
and then it's like Lordo's been around the block. He knows how guys play hockey. And Lordo knew exactly what he was doing. And Hendo thought he was being smart. I just was watching it all going, this is hilarious.
and I was feeding Hendo fucking chewing gum in the morning. So like, Hendo, take another chewing gum, quick.
But then he was going out there every weekend, hitting everything that moved and
Gamer,
fighting the biggest
total
guys
gamer.
ever. And it's like, so what? You're gonna tell him to
Yeah,
stop? The guy's becoming a
yeah.
legend.
If you take that away from him, he's just going to become a shell of a man.
Yeah, he's a wild man when he first got to Cardiff. And they know every time he hit somebody, they'd play the Wrecking Ball song. That was so hockey.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that was funny. Who did he hit? Kevin Westgarth. He hit with the big hip check in front of our bench.
and then they'd play the
I
song, I
remember that
came
one.
in like a wrecking ball. Never thought I was
Yeah.
gonna sing in the shed. I just did it.
Oof. Don't do it again.
I'm more of a dancer, Deese. You know that.
Oh yeah. Shake it off.
Shake it off. That was a good tune. Had any
Sings
good
that win
kebabs
song.
or yufkas lately?
I had my first kebab actually last week that I've had in, oh, I don't even know, maybe 8, 9 months. I had the first one,
That doesn't make any
and
sense to me. I see what you're working with here, Dease. You haven't been exercising. So
I'm down 45 pounds, Wally,
I was
from
wondering why that
this
shirt is
from
so baggy on you.
yeah, it's huge. This it's because I've been doing housework and in the garden, so I just threw this thing on,
It's
and it's huge on me now.
it's huge. Why are you not eating yufkas and kebabs? I don't understand. You've changed?
I'm trying to be better. I had a little health scare at Christmas, and I'm trying to be better for myself.
So you're blaming it on
So
yufkas?
I'm blaming it on everything. I was drinking
That's what makes
heavily
my body
and
go. I need that stuff. That's what
need the
oils it
grease to
up.
keep the yeah, it oils it up, lubes up the joints, keeps it going.
Yeah,
But
that's
I'm trying to be better. But since I've been home 15 days now, and I think I've eaten out probably 13 of them because I'm just going out for dinners, lunches,
sea people.
catching up with guys. Yeah, just doing a lot of things. So I'm a
That
busy
sounds really
guy.
fun.
It's been actually a wild, wild 2 weeks, and I've loved every second of it.
The first two
But
weeks at home every off
I need some
season are
sleep.
the best.
They are. But next week, my calendar's clear next week, so I'm pretty chilled out. I just got to do a lot of shit with my mama
Mhm.
and help her around the house, and that's. But next week I got no lunch plans, no dinner dates. So I'm good. I'm like, oh, and then my bank balance will maybe be a bit more thankful for me too.
Well, yeah, going out to eat and having fun costs money. Fun isn't always free, right? You can't just always go out to your shed and talk to friends and have fun.
No,
Yeah. Yeah. I
so it's
found a
wild.
loophole here in the world, you know? You can have fun and not pay for it. But you gotta buy a Zoom membership every year, I guess. You know?
Oh, how much is the Zoom membership?
Like a couple $100 a year, I think.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know. Um, you know what my new idea is though? I lost my
Oh,
jersey maker guy. So I'm thinking I'll front the money and buy some jerseys and maybe like 10 to 20 of them and get some shed legends and get two ales and cocktails. Like this thing never started because of me. This started because all the guys I played with that are muck runners. And I was thinking like, why don't I make a two ales jersey with like Caruth 30 on the back, Dowd 75 on the back, Tansy
some
6 on the
limited
back,
editions.
Martin 88 on the back. Have those raffles. Nobody wants a Walton 18. They want those guys. Do you imagine those raffles would go bonkers?
Yeah, don't put my name on the back. I don't think you're going to get much for that one.
No, maybe just take off one of those tight pairs of shoes and sign them. Maybe we'll raffle that off, eh? Get some of your old school pumps.
Some of my pumps or some of my Jordans out there.
Yeah. But seriously, wouldn't that be a good idea? I think that's a good idea.
And people will buy it, especially if they're one-offs. You're just
Right.
making
There's
a
one goat,
team.
two ales and cocktails jersey, and you're like, who wants it?
Yeah,
Right?
that'd be sick.
Do I have to
You
ask the
could
players
auction
if
it
I'm
or you
allowed
could
to put
raffle
their
it.
name and number on it first? Do I have to ask all my shed guys if I can do that? How do they
I
know
don't think
Martin
so.
88 means Joey? They don't know that.
Exactly. I think as long as you don't
It's a
put
made
team
up
logos
hockey
on it,
team
you're
of
okay.
shed guys, right?
Yeah, as long as you don't infringe trademarks, you're fine.
Hey, so get out of my way, folks. I'm using everybody to win,
Exactly. You got to do what you can.
and I still owe Finner money, so we're gonna
Switching
have to do
headphones.
this.
Switching
Oh, you sound terrible now. I'm just
on
kidding.
the left headphone.
Um, Anywho, did you have any pregame rituals with guys this year? Who are your guys this year? Who's your favorite player on the team?
My favorite guy this year. It was a tough year, so there was a lot of changes. Um, One of my favorite guys, he left towards the end of the season with Anthony Salinitri, plays for Team Italy. Um, I can't remember which team. He went to Stavanger, I think. Yeah, he went to Stavanger Oilers from us because obviously we sucked, so he got the offer to go there. But me
And
and Salah go out for dinner a few
Stavanger goes
times.
for it every year.
Yeah, yeah, they were in the Champions League. They were real good. So Sal, I hung out with Sal a lot because he lived right above me. But I didn't have an out and out favorite guy, but we had a good crew. We had a really good crew of guys there, just hanging
Isn't it
out. I'm in my
interesting
room.
how winning and losing changes so much? It's like you said, it was a tough year, so there's a lot of changes. When you win, there's not as many changes, and people want people
No,
back. Unless you go to
it,
Denmark, then they don't
yeah,
want you back no matter what.
no.
No,
That's
no.
that
At
Dan
least
Seaman guy,
unless
eh?
if you're a 5'8" guy with a bad body, then apparently you're not the guys to raise their puppies.
No,
Well, who was
that's
I to know?
because Danny Boy, he didn't go to bat for you.
Well,
Danny
he
didn't fight your corner.
old
Yeah,
Seaman
he
there.
would have. He would have.
Well, once they did say that though, he said I'd give you a great reference anywhere you want to go and this and that. And then
It's normally management. It's a lot of it is not those the coaches. It's management. They're like,
well, and
I
then
don't
I
like the
I
guy.
was right wound up. I was right pissed off, and I was like, I don't need you guys for nothing, type deal. And you win a championship, and then your whole mood changes, what you think of it all, and then I didn't ask them for a favor. I wasn't going to ask them for nothing. And then it was actually Dan that reached out to me that summer, like a month or two into it. And he goes, hey, man, like I told you I was going to give you a great reference. Like I told you to have teams call me and I will have your back.
Yeah,
And I was like, he's like, nobody's called. Like nobody. I'm like, nobody's called me either. I was like, what is happening? I have an agent. And that's when I decided to make some plays on my own instead of wait for some guy to be my agent. I was like, well, this is my life. This is my job. Why don't I send some emails? And then that's how I ended up in Cardiff. You know?
exactly. Who was your agent back then, Wally?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. His connections were in Switzerland, Austria, and the DL, and
Oh, I
it
can guess
sounds
who
like
that is.
those ships had sailed for me, I guess, because when he took me on, that's where he thought I was heading, and then I decided to stay in Beatingheim and be loyal. And then things didn't work out there doing that for them. So then I feel like didn't want he had other guys that were going to make him some money more than I was at that point. So then I wasn't at the top of the list of making plays for. So then I had to make my own plays.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but you got there. You got where you needed to be.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to take care of yourself, right? Don't wait for other people to do it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Got Lisa, Colby, and was Zoe in the barrel then when you signed in Cardiff? Yeah, she was, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, happened that first year doing the NBA. Busy
Yeah,
times. Busy
very
times.
busy times.
The next year wasn't so busy though when I didn't play hockey or go to school. Just
Oh,
just got spray painted and dressed like superheroes, right?
yeah,
And the
drunk some
power play
whiskeys.
coach too, right?
Uh, were you? Oh yeah, you were the power play coach for a little.
Kind
That's
of
why our
not
power
like the
play
coach.
sucked.
I was like the power play tip guy. Like tell them,
You were the spotter. Yeah,
yeah, watch what's happening out there and give adjustments in between periods. But
yeah.
I didn't get to actually like decide who went out there. I just got to decide what they did when they got out there.
Oh, I can tell you who went out there. Loda went right wing. Marty went on the
And Mo,
center, and yeah, Mo. It
yeah.
was easy. You didn't
And
have
then
to
there was
think
a
about
set.
that
Then there
one.
was a second unit that would clean up the end, though.
Yeah, they did the
I
last
used to be on that
25
that
seconds.
one.
Yeah, you got the I'm tired, you go do something.
I remember the 2014-15 year when he didn't know Hoth was Hoth, and he gave me Hoth on the second unit. Then he found out Hoth was Hoth, and then he took
Oh yeah,
him
and
too.
he's like, oh, you can go right up top.
Yeah. Oh, so and I had you with Wally. I better take him.
Yeah, pad those point totals up.
Anyways, we're just joking, right?
Of course, always joking. It's all light.
Do you have any pregame rituals with guys though?
No, none, no one.
You were
Oh, I
having
had one
fun
guy.
with anything.
Amadeus Ega would just we give a hip bump to each other, and then actually I did have a few thinking about it. I had a young kid, Paulie Reiner. We'd do the double fist bump, then a chest bump, and another one of my young guys, Jacob Peffer. We did the double bump, and then he randomly punched me in the head, so that was fun. We had a few.
We had a ton on our team. There was so much hockey going on with our under 13 boys. It was amazing how many rituals from the start of the year where there's nothing going on to by the end when you're dialed in all Ontarios, and they all had this
You
routine.
get deep fast.
Oh man, like they all went out on the ice in the same order. The same two kids, everybody would go out and then they would wait for us coaches to come out and wait at the door to give us fist bumps before they'd go out for the warm up. And then they'd have the same like passing and it was as hockey as it got, and they were in under 13, and it was so cool to see.
That's when it's fun.
Yeah, winning's fun. You like my red
Winning is
hat?
fun. I like your red hat. It's a champion's hat.
Yeah, they give that to you for winning all Ontario's red hats. I didn't think a red
Wee
hat would
you.
be that cool, but a red hat is that cool.
I got a couple then when we won playoffs and things with the Devils.
Hmm.
Don't know where
I
they are, but I've got them.
When you're playing the game, sometimes you don't really appreciate some of the things you're doing. I didn't take care of some of my medals and things of that nature in the days afterwards. I have misplaced my German medal, and a couple other things, but be
Got
nice
the
to.
gold helmet though. I can see it.
Yeah, the gold helmet's still there. You got to keep that for protection, you know. Um, but yeah, the German medal it was beaten up, and I do know it made it back to Canada, but there was no strap for it anymore, and it had been worn over the days of celebrating. So I'm not sure where it ended up. Maybe in a box somewhere around here.
You'll move house one day or be just cleaning up and you'll go, oh, there it is.
There it is. I had to found an article. Colby lost my Sutherland Cup ring years ago, and I thought it might be in his closet. So I started looking in his closet. Then I found some Western Michigan article that I hadn't seen in years.
Sick.
Yeah, it was interesting to see. But I'm looking forward to taking my under 13 boys to Kalamazoo to see an NCAA game this year. I think that's going to be a memory for life. You know?
Kalamazoo Wings. Nice.
No, that's the East Coast team. I'm going to the
Oh, it's the
Western
East
Michigan
Coast.
Broncos. They're
Oh,
both
you're
in the
going to
same
the
town.
Broncos.
Hmm.
Oh, so that's going to be an absolute war.
It's the Western Michigan Broncos. If people that don't know, it's the one of the best barns in the world, and they have the best student section going. It's something.
That's going to be wild.
And I haven't been back in 18 years, and I'm gonna bring my whole team.
Nice. Hopefully,
Yeah.
there's someone you know there, a couple of guys you know, and
Well, the head coach said he was coming to the shed, and then he had an issue with his dog. This was like a year ago. And then I haven't gotten contact with him since, but like he was the coach of the Red Wings and everything, and like now he's the coach of the Broncos, and he was a confirmed shed
who's
guy.
that?
Pat Ferschweiler. It's
I know the
weird for
name.
me. When I played there, man, I could hardly get teams to come watch, and my agent couldn't because there weren't many prospects. Now, man, the Broncos, their season ends, there's like 5 or 6 of them signing with NHL teams. Like every year. It's
It,
crazy how it's changed.
well, just at the World Championships with Austria just then, there was a bunch of scouts in the stands.
Oh yeah.
Bunch of them.
Yeah, the World Championships is a good opportunity for fellas to strut their shit, ain't it?
Oh yeah, a lot of peacocks out there.
Yeah, it's like going in the Champions Hockey League. It's like every team you play, you're showing your shit for them too.
You're in the window. Yeah, you're just in the window.
Hmm. Yeah. Never got there though, Earned my way there with Sunderewski, but then they didn't ask me back, and then they played in the Champions League the next year. You know,
Suck
never
it, Wallow.
yeah, be better, right? I guess
That's all you can do. Be better.
be better. Um. Anyways, what else you got? Anything?
Nothing. I got nothing. I gotta head on out of here in like 20 minutes, so I gotta hop in the shower in a bit. I got a dinner to go to.
You definitely need a shower. I can see it, and you need a new
Oh
shirt
yeah.
on if you're leaving the house. That thing is
Oh,
too
I'm
baggy.
changing.
Yeah,
It's fine. This is just work shirt.
work shirt. Yeah, that's a work shirt.
Taking my mama
Do you
out
think
for
people are
dinner.
getting sick of us talking in my shed? Because you know what, folks, if you listened or you don't, I actually don't care. I'm going to talk to whoever I want to.
Ask for feedback, Wally. Ask him. Say, hey,
Have you had enough of Dease? Have you? I think it's so neat I started this because now I get to see whoever I want whenever I want, as long as they'll make the time for me, right?
I'll always make time for you. I've always got time.
Well, You've sprayed
I'll
my
figure it out.
tallywhacker before.
Yeah, many times, many times.
What a, now that I'm grown up, can't believe all that went on.
Or that we used to make when you were injured, and we used to make bacon in the microwave while they were on the ice, and
I
Loda would go
didn't, you
bananas.
did.
We used to put it in our bagels, and
Yeah.
Loda would come stomping off the ice. This place stinks. Like, I don't care.
Well, that was when like I was like what 3 years older than my coach, and he wouldn't even let me eat a bagel. You're telling me the whole team gets
Oh
free
yeah,
bagels when you show up to practice, but Wally is not allowed to have one?
yeah. You
That's
were on
sad.
Richie's fitness
That's
regime.
sad. I'm at the end of my career and you won't let me eat a bagel?
That's wild. I just had a message from Jamie Elson. You should get him in the shed.
I should get him in the shed, man. He's coaching like Team Great Britain, and I saw he's
Yeah,
done with the Bristol Pit Bulls. Why is that?
yeah. He's. I have no idea. They just went their separate ways. I don't know. I didn't ask him about it.
It seems like he
So,
started something pretty special there in Bristol.
but they had a very tough year. But I didn't really follow, and it's hard to follow the lower leagues. Like you can get information about the elite league anywhere, but to follow the lower leagues when you're over in Austria, I don't see anything, and it's not like I chase getting information anyway. So
I am the same. I don't chase anything. I find it great that the Shed family keeps me connected. I just open up my device and a whole bunch of people
I'll
write to
send you
me.
his number.
Yeah, send me his number and I'll get old Jamae in here. He's earned it. And he's a Shed guy.
Jam
He's a
Jam.
beauty.
He is a beauty.
It's
He
pretty
could
neat
tell you
what
some
everybody's
stories.
done in their hockey careers from that first, like from the Devils when we first got there, eh? Like there's been some pretty good careers blossom out of that group of misfits.
Well, there's Wilsey who's running around the world taking photographs sponsored by Bentley and Sony and whoever else he's sponsored by. It's crazy. You know, Ryan Russell's in the NHL. Did you know you were you with Rusty?
Yeah, he was the
Or
new
did he?
me. He took my job.
Yeah,
I
oh yeah,
picked
he
I
came.
picked
I
him up
wasn't sure
from
if it
the
was the year
airport, the
after.
guy they brought in to take my
You were
spot.
like, "Hey, how you doing? You're the replacement. Nice to see you."
Yeah,
So
picked him up
Rusty's
at
in
the
the
airport
NHL
and
doing
drove him to his
scouting.
apartment. But that's what I appreciate about the Devils was they had to get a whole new apartment for Rusty when he got there because I wouldn't leave and they didn't make me leave. And we got to stay there and be a part of it and live in Cardiff for the year and be a part of the team. And that is why the pregame speeches did get so wild, right? Because like, well, I gotta do my part. Can't
Yeah,
just be
you
here
got
and
to
not
pay
be
the
a part of
piper
it.
for what you've done. Yeah,
Yeah. Just because you're hurt doesn't mean you can't get involved and try and help the team win, right?
still part of the team. Still got to go.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's in the NHL, what is like a scout or something, right?
Yeah, he's a scout. Last I heard, it was for was it Dallas? I think he was
Well, that
Dallas. He
was
was
why he
scouting
was
for.
signed to come back the next year there, and
Yeah,
that's when he didn't come back when he got that gig.
no, they gave him the offer, and he's like, okay, gotta go.
Yeah. Um, but then the goat's been the goat, and then there's like Gleason Fournier, he's having a time. A lot of rumors he's coming back.
I can't talk about that.
I can't talk about it either, but I did see he's playing in Ben Davis's testimonial.
Yeah, well, his girl's from Cardiff, so he's in town.
Oh,
He's in
okay.
town for visiting the family, and he's got the wedding this summer to her. So I think he told me he was getting married in Spain. So he's back home right now, fixing all the wedding shit with the in-laws and stuff.
Well, he's a heck
So
of a hockey player. Any team would be lucky to have that guy.
and a great guy.
Yeah.
And I'm
Uh,
his translator, with my fluent French. I've done some translating for him.
mhm. Parlez-vous un petit peu français?
I don't know. I can't speak a word of French, but once he did an interview and I pretended I could speak French and I translated it all. So
Mm.
it's probably on YouTube. It was a very interesting
We did
interview.
have a lot of fun when we were in Cardiff, though. Like, you remember the year-end parties with like the beer pong tournaments and stuff?
Oh, Amari with the mascot head on, and
Yeah,
yeah, there's a lot
I
of
I
stories.
I remember that. That was when Colby got to come to the year-end party for like the first hour or two until things were getting to end of year party-ish. Then
Yeah, And it was like, okay,
then he
kids
got
out.
picked up. Yeah, then he got picked up.
Yeah,
But he did get to play beer pong for a bit, right?
yep. Bounty had played beer pong naked, and I was like,
Yeah, you get the tramp stamp out there playing beer pong,
oh,
and you're like, whew, tough, a lot to look at here.
oof,
How are you supposed to focus on making your shot, right?
oof. And it's just, oh, yay, yay, yay.
I can't wait to watch those boys play Canada in the morning. That's gonna be so fun. Hey?
It's going to be wild. I just hope they can keep the legs burning into the third, and they'll do a good job.
Well, it's like they're gonna go out there and play against Connor Bedard, and it's like the way he's going, it's like that's like going out there and mucking it up against Sidney Crosby, and it's like that'd be a day you'd never forget the
Banana
rest of your
lands,
life.
absolute banana lands that you get to take a face off against. Bedard, Tavares,
And
oof.
people should be snapping photos tomorrow, like these guys need to remember this shit. If they have a shed someday and they're taking a face off against Bedard, they should smack that right on the wall, right?
Oh, got to take a picture and blow that up.
Hmm.
Tell your grandkids, look who I played against.
And they earned this. Like they earned their way there. And it was the old Twinkle Toes and the whole crew. And it must be tough for old Twinkle Toes to not be there anymore, Jono. But he
Yeah.
he is a big part of why they're there. And the Quiet
Oh, he's
Psycho and
huge worry.
Mizey too, right? Like Mizey's not with them
Yeah.
now this year.
No, he retired. I don't know what he's doing next year. I don't know if he's going back to France or what.
Well,
But
man,
but I heard he
he's
wants
a
to get
guy
into
that's really
coaching.
changed my life, man. Like for him bringing me back for his testimonial, that introduced me to a whole new crew of shed guys. It brought me back to Cardiff to see everybody, and man, those are the things that the days you never get back, you know.
No, no, they're just great memories, and starts balls rolling.
Those testimonials are something else, aren't they?
I don't know. I don't remember batches.
Well, you didn't play well, I can tell you that.
I took two shifts, and I was the drunkest guy in Cardiff on both of them. And on my second shift, I'd walked around the rink without skate guards on, so I had
Yeah.
no edges.
Yeah, you were I think they call it a puddle.
Yeah, I think I was past being a puddle.
See, I worked my way through it. I was a gamer and I did what it took. I had to have a couple laydowns before and during the match, but I got through it.
I don't even want to think about how much whiskey I drank before, during, and after the game
That
because it
doesn't make
was
any sense. You
oof.
knew you had a hockey game to play. What were you doing?
I
You,
knew I wasn't
not
gonna
that's why you're
skate
an
a lot.
equipment manager, not a professional like myself.
Yeah, but I knew I wasn't gonna go on the ice. I was there for entertainment purposes, not there for hockey purposes.
Um, yeah, no,
Like the court jester, I'm just the clown
I
that they
was
wheel out.
I was sucking wind out there, but I got through it. And I was, I played my game.
It's what you
Oh,
gotta do.
good thing they didn't have the heart rate monitor on me though.
Oof, that would have been spinning.
Oh man, I remembered I had to take one of my droolers. I think it was after the first game or before the first game. I'm not sure which. And Franny took a video of me sleeping on the floor and put up my song "Good Day for Living."
Oh yeah.
What a fun weekend.
I remember we were all singing the theme tune to SpongeBob SquarePants. It was after warm up, and we put that on the stereo. We had a whole room. Are you ready, kids? It was wild.
Well, for me, it's like coaching when you have to wear no equipment. It's like I can get winded when I play the scrimmages with the boys, but like you don't have to wear equipment. Then you go out there to those testimonials and you have to wear like full gear, and then you go out for a warm up and you've had a late night the night before and you're like, man, I'm like tired just from skating around a circle and warm up shooting on an empty net. And
Oh,
it's like, how are we gonna play a game?
100%.
Oh, it's exhausting. Yeah.
100%.
Well, I
All
guess
right, Wally, I gotta fly.
I know. I got to get back to the real world too. Well, it was great seeing you again, sir. Go get in the
All
shower,
right, brother.
get a better shirt on. Go get
Get
at it.
spruced up.
Yeah.
Get after it.
Yeah.
All right, speak to you soon.
Okay, everybody you see over there that I know, say hi to them for me.
Oh, I'll be seeing him probably Monday, Tuesday, so I'll see some guys.
Okay, don't forget your
So
fun
for sure.
selfies. Eh? You know that the first picture I have when I retired from hockey, it was all non-hockey stuff, all family stuff. And then all of a sudden on my phone, if you go through the storyboard, all of a sudden there's a selfie from you, Deuce, and the goat at a practice at the Big Blue
Oh,
Tent
I
or
remember
somewhere.
that.
Or I don't know where. Yeah, but you send me the selfie and I'm like, oh my God, they haven't forgot about me.
I remember that picture.
Yeah, good picture.
Great picture. We'll
Yeah.
put that up as my we'll put that up for my board when you put this on Insta.
Oh, poster pics. Yeah, you got to send me. Do you got
Yeah,
new
poster
ones?
pic, that's it.
You got to send
I'll
me
find you some.
yeah, send me the one from the Graz guys with Team Austria there that you put up there. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that's
I'll do
pretty
that
cool. You're
when
with
I
Team Austria now, eh? And you're just a Welsh boy running amok.
get the call. Just lucky.
Must be the tight
Just
shoes.
thankful for every little those little tight shoes,
Little
you
tight
know,
shoes, tight sharpening, you know?
skinny legs, my chicken legs running around. So I'm
Chicken
good.
legs and a beer belly. You might have some Walton jeans in you.
Exactly. Oh, for sure. Look like maybe I'm Big Ron ever come across to Wales when he was younger.
Uh, I don't think so, but he sure did come when we were there.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
he even went to Dundee with the fads. He had a time. That's hockey,
Wild.
folks. The Red Army bus can get away from you. And this has been another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Dease and Wally.